I'm gonna show y'all how to make your own custom gun. First thing you need to make your own custom gun is these 4 apps right here. You're gonna need Blender, 3ds Max, OpenIV, and this is the FiveM toolkit. It'll come in a package. All of these will come in a package. First thing you wanna do when you make your gun is find you a model. I'm on GTA 5 mods and I'm gonna use this Glock 43X. They got a lot of other different models you can look at, but I'm gonna use this Glock 43X just for this video. So I'm gonna download it. All right, so I got my Glock 43X. Now I'm gonna open it up. Now we're gonna go up in the OpenIV, GTA 5, Windows. We'll go to Mods folder, MP Lux. Now we want to select all these files. We want to drag them over here in OpenIV, like that. So this is the Glock 43X. You open a YTD file, you see it. This is the mag for it, and I'm pretty sure this is the extended mag. Yeah, it's a Chris Vec mag. And I'll show you how to customize the mags and a different. I'll do that in a separate video. You should already have 3ds Max and everything set up. Blender, 3ds Max, everything set up. So what you're gonna do is right click the YDR file, just this one, not the one that says hi or mag or anything, just this one. It's the name of the gun. Just right click that one. Click export to open formats, ODR. You want to export it to, I don't know, wherever. Actually, we can make a, let me make a folder. Let me make a folder on my desktop. So I'm gonna name it Glock 43. And now we can export. And export it to that folder we just made. Boom, we got that. Now we can minimize this, we can close this. Now that we got that exported in there, we can open 3ds Max. You can click close on that. Make sure you put on this bottom right box, put orthographic instead of perspective. And then all the way in the right corner, click this full screen. If you got Games Evo set up right, you should see GTA 5 with this garbage bin. You click the icon next to the garbage bin on the right. Now you want to go to import, go to that file that we just exported into the folder, Glock 43. Open the ODR. Now we can click X on the report, doesn't matter. Now we can click this to toggle the layer. And when you toggle the layers, you'll see these things with the zeros next to them. You can click the eyeballs next to those. And then this is the Glock 43X. Now all we want to do is go to File, Export, and click the first export. And make sure you change the save type. Change it from FBX, change it to OBJ. You can put it in that same folder that we made on our desktop. And just give it a name. We'll just name it G43, and then save, and export, and click done. Now you can minimize this because we're gonna have to go back in this, so minimize it. Now we'll go in Blender. Click off of this, click A, to select everything and delete. Zoom in a little bit. Now we'll go to File, Import, OBJ, and go to that same photo we made, Glock 43, and then import your G43 that we just exported out of 3ds. So boom, we got it in Blender now. Now we're gonna fix it up and add stuff that we want to add. So you don't have to do this, but I'm gonna add a switch. I'm gonna add a button. I'm gonna add a button on the back of this. But before I add that button, we're gonna set up our materials for the gun. So we can go ahead and just minimize this for right now. And we're gonna need Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, it will come in a pack as well. All right, we got Photoshop open. Now we're gonna create new. You can leave it at 1920 by 1080, 300 resolution. And now we can just unlock this background layer here. Actually, let me go on full screen. Now we can just unlock this background layer and we can change the color of it. So any color you want to change it to, we go to FX, add a color overlay, make sure the opacity is 100%, and then change the color to anything you want. I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a dark blue and white. Yeah. Okay, so you just click OK. And for the other color that I'm gonna add, we're gonna add it on top of this blue, but it's gonna be smaller. So you should already have this layer selected, this layer right here. So just do Control C, Control V, and it'll copy it. Then you can do Control T, make it a little bit smaller. Then go to the color overlay for the layer 1 and then change it to white or whatever other color you want. I'm just using blue and white. So click OK. And by the way, you don't have to use solid color textures. I'm just using it for the sake of this video. You can use any type of texture you want. You can use a Galaxy skin, Chucky skin, or Fortnite skin, or anything you want. All you have to do is just go to Google, look up any type of texture you want, and just save it and then put it in Photoshop. Okay. Now that we have our texture, we can go to File, Export, Export As. Make sure it's a PNG. And click Export, and then we're going to export it into that photo we made on our desktop. 43, and we're going to name it Texture. Now we can close Photoshop. We don't need it anymore. We can go back into Blender, and we can set the texture on our Glock. So make sure you are in the material preview of viewport shading, which is the second ball up here in the corner. If we click that, and now if we go to the materials tab right here, we can delete this material by clicking the minus sign right here. And if we click new, we'll have a new material, but we don't have our image. So to put our image on it that we just made, you click the little yellow circle right here next to base color, click image texture, and then go to open. And we're gonna go to that same photo we just made where our texture is, 43. We're gonna import the texture image. Now we got our texture on our gun, but it looks kind of crazy. But we can edit this in UV editing. So if you go to UV editing up here, zoom in, put it on material preview up here in the top. Now if you click A on your keyboard, it'll select everything on the gun. And if you click U, then click Q projection. Boom, we'll have it on this side. You can move it, you can click G to move it around, S to rescale it, R to rotate it. I'm gonna keep it in the blue area for right now, and then I'm gonna select all the areas where I want to be white. So to select all the areas I want to be white, I'm gonna hover over what I want to be white, and I'm gonna click L to select it. Click L on your keyboard. So L on the trigger. So I got everything selected that I want to make white. And it pops up over here when you select it, so I can make it a little bit smaller to fit into the white box. And I can put it here, and boom, now it's white. Everything I wanted to be white is white. So now for the button, I'm gonna show you how to add the button, but I'm gonna just do it my way because I don't have an actual OBJ object for the button yet, but I have a gun that has it, so I'm just taking off that gun. I'm gonna show you how I do that. So I go to File, Import. Now I'm gonna import a gun that already has a button. So this is a gun that I've made before that already has a button on it. So I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna go into edit mode by clicking tab. And this is how you remove things from any object. You can go to tab, go to edit mode, you can click L, select it, select the whole button. I think it's all selected. Yeah, it's all selected. So now I can click P on my keyboard and click selection. And now it's separated from the gun. Now I can delete the gun, and now I just got the button. So if I turn this back on, I'll be able to move this. Let me think in the middle. I'll be able to move this to line it up. Just like this. Just like that. And I think I'm going to make the button white, but I have to change the texture to make it match the texture of the gun. So if I delete the texture for the button, I click the minus sign here, click new, yellow circle next to base color, image texture, open, Glock 43, and put in my texture. And then now if I go back in UV editing, I should have the button, just the button edit mode. And if I click A, select the whole button, click U, Q projection, and then I can resize it with S and G to move it to the white. Let me do Control S to save it and save it to the photo we made. Or you can play around with the materials values here. I like to turn my IOR all the way down and turn the metallic up. It kind of looks cool like that. We do it for the gun too. Now we have to combine the button and the gun. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So first you wanna click, you can click the gun or the button, doesn't matter. Click one of these first and hold shift and create a box around the whole gun, just like that. Now do Control J on your keyboard to combine them, and they're combined. Now if you have two materials, they're both the same one, but we only need one, so we can delete one. Now we have one material, which is all we need. Now we'll do Control S to save it, and just for the sake of this video, I'm not doing any like letterings on the guns or anything, but I'll make a whole separate tutorial video on how to do that too. So Control S, I want to do File, Export, OBJ. We're just gonna leave it as untitled and save it to the folder that we made in the beginning, and then export wavefront OBJ. And now we can Control S it again to make sure it's saved, and click the X. Now we can go back in 3ds, the one that we minimized. Now let's go to File, Import. We're going to import our untitled OBJ that we just finished. So if I go to the Glock 43 folder, and I go to untitled, and then just click Import. Don't change anything, just click Import. And just click OK. If it has the same name, just click OK. Now in the layers over here, we're gonna click the one that says high without the 2 zeros and the one at the end. Just this one. So click this one. We're gonna go over here to the Modify tab. You're gonna go to Editable Mesh, and you're gonna click Attach, and just click on the gun. Make sure this first option is selected, and just click OK. We combine the default gun with our custom gun. Now we have to delete the default gun. We have to go to this little cube right here, the element cube. Scroll down until you see material, the material section where it says IDs. So we're gonna click this little empty drop down box. We're gonna delete all of these except no name, the one that says no name. So you can delete this, just click it and then click delete on your keyboard. That's all you have to do until you get to no name. No name is the actual custom gun that we just imported. If you open the drop down and click no name, it should select the whole gun. It should be on ID, whatever ID it is, make it ID 1. So if you click the down arrow right here on the where it says set ID, go right here, click the down arrow until you get to ID 1. Now it's on ID 1. Now we have to change the vertex color. The color for it without the glow, we don't want it to glow. Actually, I'm gonna make the white parts glow, and I'm gonna show you the values for those. So this is for no glow, just solid blue, no glowing at night. So the values for this is 225, 128, and 0. So it'll be 225, 128, 0, 21, 225, 225. And I'll have a text document for those values too. And for the illumination, you want to make it all black. So just change the value right here to 0. And now we're going to make the white parts that everything that we made white. I want it to glow. So I'm going to select the button. If you click one and hold Control, you'll be able to click multiple things at once. So I'm holding Control while I'm clicking all of these. And if you click something that you didn't mean to click, you can just do Control Z and it'll deselect it. If I click this and I didn't want it, I can just do Control Z and it'll deselect it for me. That should be everything that we had white. These are all the white parts that we had on the gun. Now we're gonna set this to ID 2 instead of 1. So you click the up arrow right here on set ID, click the up arrow and put it as 2. Now we're gonna change the orange color. We're gonna change the green box, change the value to 186. And put the blue box to 225. You should get like a light pinkish color, just like this, and keep the illumination black. Now we just set the values and the colors. We can deselect the element. Usually some guns come with a skin tab on here, right here. We have to set the weight of the gun and the parts of the gun. But in this case, this gun doesn't have it, so we don't got to worry about that. But I'll make another video on me setting the weight for the guns. But since if we're done with this, so now we can just go to this wrench tool right here. We can go back down to GTA 5 and click the icon on the right side of the trash can. We can go to Material Editor. Click on ID 1. And this is going to be all blue. Make sure the shader is on PED and the parameter set is on PED. Now for the bump texture, we have to make our bump texture. So I'm going to show you how to make the bump texture. So if you open the folder that we made in the beginning, Glock 43, you see our texture, we're going to right click it and open with Photoshop. Make sure the layer is selected and then go to Filter, 3D, and Generate 3D, generate normal map. You'll see this pop up. Make sure the blur is on 0.5 and the detail scale is on 120. and make sure all of these are 20%. Low, medium, high, 20%. Just copy everything here. So click OK, and now we can save this as a PNG. We can export it as a PNG. Export as. Make sure it's a PNG. Export, and we could name it texture normal map. And now we have to make the spec map. So now that we just did that, we can just do Control Z or redo what we did. And now to make the spec, all you have to do is go up to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, and turn the saturation all the way down to -100. And then you just export it. Export as, and then we can just name it texture spec. And now we have our normal map and spec. Now we can close Photoshop. Now we actually don't need Photoshop anymore. So we can minimize that. And now we can set our normal to go to our folder, and we can put it as the texture normal map. Make sure it's embedded. The only two things that should be embedded is the bump texture and the specular texture. Make sure for those two, you click the checkbox next to them to embed them. Now for the diffuse is our actual texture. And the specular will be the spec map that we made. So texture spec. Bumpiness, we're gonna have that at 0. We can put this at 0.5. The specular fall off will be 250.0. Specular Fresnel will be 0.48. And the intensity, I like to put mine at 0.2. And then the wind, always make sure this is at 0. Everything is at 0.0. Now for ID2, which is the white parts, we got to make this glow in the dark. So we got to click on ID2, click on the pink ball. Now we can do shader ped. Put the shader as ped, and now put the parameter set as ped emissive. And now we don't want anything embedded on this, only an ID1. So bump texture. Also, do not embed the diffuse texture either. Only bump texture and specular texture on ID1. Okay, so bump texture for ID2, we're gonna put the same thing, normal map. Do not embed it. Diffuse texture, same thing, texture, and then the same thing again for the specular. Now we're gonna put the same values we put, 0.5. Specular fall off, 250. Specular Fresnel, 0.48. These are the only things, everything that I'm naming is the things you change. If I skip over it, that means you don't have to change it. So like the detail N10 bumped scale, the emissive HDR, you don't have to change any of those. The specular intensity, we're gonna put this at 0.2. Make sure the wind is at 0.0, that's real important. And that's it. So now we just close this, close that. We can do Control S to make sure it's saved. And save it to our folder. Just name anything, G43. And then now we click export. I'm gonna come back when it's done to export it. All right, now that we gotta export it, we can Control S again to make sure it's saved. Now we can